subscribe to my channel and press bell icon for latest updates.
Hi, welcome to Learning Monkey. I am Raghuveer. In this class we will discuss about the coding part required for Naive Bayes. For better understanding of the code, we already discussed so many concepts that required for Naive Bayes, and some of the concepts like k-fold cross validation, receiver operating characteristics curve, and imbalanced data sets. All these concepts which we discussed in our last 10 to 15 videos, all those concepts are implemented in this coding session. So this coding session is very important to understand, as we already said in our previous classes that we will give you a brief introduction about the coding part. We won't give you a pin-to-pin explanation about the coding part. You have to download the code and please work on the code in and out with the given code, so that you will have a better understanding of the subject and the coding also, so that you will have better confidence about how to code machine learning. So our assumption here is you have already watched all the classes which we discussed in our previous 10 to 15 videos, so that the concepts which we discussed in those videos, we will explain those concepts and we will show the code, which part of the code is used to which part of implementation which we discussed in our previous classes. So that's why please follow our playlist for better understanding of the subject. The link for the playlist is provided in the description below. So coming to coding part, first 5 blocks of the code is already discussed in our data pre-processing of Amazon data set. So after that our actual Naive Bayes code will be started. So first block of the code, this is the packages that we use it for the data pre-processing, and this second block of the code is used to take our data set into a data frame called and keeping it in a data frame in a variable called data. And this is the third block of the code. This is the code for data pre-processing. After completing all the data pre-processing, we converted our cleaned text and data pre-processor text into a file called Amazon data cleaned.csv. So after data pre-processing, this block of the code also discussed in our previous classes during the data pre-processing class. So what we are doing here is we are splitting our data into training data and testing data. As we discussed in k-fold cross validation, that no need to split our data into cross validation data, because we are using grid search CV. Grid search CV will automatically split the data into validation data and training data. That is the reason why we are not splitting cross validation data here. We are just splitting our data into training data and testing data. Okay, so this is the code for splitting training data and testing data. This code also discussed in our previous classes. Next, we are converting our data into bag of words. Up to here, up to this block of code, we already discussed in our previous class called data pre-processing on Amazon data set. We convert our data into bag of words. Because we are having only text data, we are using only bag of words. Okay, so coming to our Naive Bayes, one thing we have to remember here is what bag of words will do is take each word in our feedback and it will give the count of that word. Don't forget that what bag of words will do. What bag of words will do? It will give the count of the words in the given feedback. Suppose take the first feedback. If the first feedback is having a word mobile 5 times, what it will assign? It will assign the value 5 to the word mobile. That is what bag of words do. So why we are saying it again means there is a reason. Next block of the code you will understand why we are saying that. So coming to next, from here onwards our actual coding starts based on a Naive Bayes. This is the Naive Bayes coding. So here we are using a package called sklearn.naive Bayes import multinomial Naive Bayes. As we discussed in our previous classes, how Naive Bayes will calculate the probability of a word in positive class and negative class. out of all positive classes, how many positive classes having the word having the given word, that is what it will calculate. But in multinomial naive Bayes, the calculation is little bit different, different than what we have explained in our previous classes. It's very simple to understand. How it will calculate is because bag of words will give the count, means mobile is a word that present 5 times in the feedback. This multinomial naive Bayes will take that count into consideration. This multinomial word came from probability, basic probability, binomial, multinomial. Binomial means 2 values, multinomial means multiple values. That's what it got its name. It will take the count into consideration. How it will calculate is it is clearly given in the documentation. Take the naive Bayes, go to multinomial naive Bayes sklearn, go to user guide. In that it is clearly given how it will calculate the probability values of the words. So take it as an assignment so that you will have a better understanding of what's multinomial naive Bayes is. It's very simple. That's why we're giving it as an assignment. So you try to understand, you read this documentation and try to understand how multinomial naive Bayes will calculate the probability value for words. Okay, so we are using multinomial naive Bayes, and then here we are using grid search CV. These two are very important. You have to take the documentation of grid search CV so that you will understand what grid search CV is. We will explain it now, but you have to completely read the documentation of grid search CV. Okay, next coming to, we are taking the model multinomial naive Bayes, and this model is assigned to a variable called NEIGH. NEIGH. We took a variable called NEIGH, and this model is assigned to a variable called NEIGH. So in this model, what's this fit underscore prior is equal to false means? In our last class we discussed that imbalanced data set in naive Bayes. That class what we have discussed is prior probability should not be calculated during imbalanced data set. What we have discussed is we have to assign equal values 0.5 to the prior probabilities. If the model itself should not calculate the prior probability value, then you have to mention fit underscore prior is equal to false. Then the model will not calculate the prior probability values. So if you want to assign your own probability values to prior probability, what we have to do is class underscore prior is equal to L. L is taken as list of 2 values 0.5, 0.5. Now prior probability values are assigned as 0.5 and 0.5. This concept we clearly discussed in our imbalanced data set in naive Bayes class. Okay, and next we already discussed in our previous classes, we have to identify the best alpha. So when alpha value is going near to 0, it is our model is under overfitting. As alpha value is going up, our model is overfitting. We have to identify the best alpha in between. So that's why we are taking some set of alpha values. 0.00001 means it's near to 0.001 means it's little more than the previous value. Like that we took some values up to 10,000. So these values we have to check all these values, all the alpha values. We have to pick the best alpha value. So how we pick the best alpha also discussed in that overfitting and underfitting class in naive Bayes. Okay, we took this set of alpha values. Now we have to identify which alpha suits to our data set. So for that we use this alpha values are taken in a dictionary format. For that we use this. So this is basic Python syntax, dictionary format. Okay, next coming to grid search CV, what it will do is it will take the model. What is our model? Multinomial naive Bayes is taken in a variable called NEIGH. So it will take the model, it will take the list of alpha values which is present in dictionary format. See here, this dictionary format, it will take the list of alpha values. The cross validation which we are using here is 5. You can change to whatever you want. So go to k-fold cross validation. There we will understand what cross validation means. And the accuracy method which we are using here is receiver operating characteristics AUC, area under curve. That is what AUC means. So the accuracy method which this grid search CV is following is ROC underscore AUC. This is what you have to mention. Now what grid search CV do is take the first alpha, apply it to the model, find the accuracy, take the second alpha, apply to the model and find the accuracy, take the third alpha, find the apply it to model and find the accuracy. Like that it will apply on all the alpha values. So we don't need to code anything, everything is given here. You just need to mention the alpha values, that's it. So CLF, this grid search CV is given to a variable called CLF. CLF.fit of, we have given training data here, training data, training input, training data, input value, output variable. If you give this, automatically grid search CV will do all the calculations, and the results of each alpha value applied on cross validation is equal to 5. Means it will take the mean value. That mean value is stored in the result called, in a variable called CV underscore results variable. This is the variable present in grid search CV. It is stored in that. The result is not shown here. You please display the result so that you will have a better understanding of how grid search CV is working and how it is displaying the results. We are using the results which grid search CV is calculated. Whatever the values grid search CV calculated, those values are placed in CV underscore results. Those values we are using here. Why? What's the values it will calculate? AUC values, because the accuracy value which we are using is AUC. It will display. It will give the AUC values. We have to plot the AUC values. Why we have to plot the AUC values? We have to identify overfitting and underfitting. We have to identify the best alpha. For graphical visualization, if you plot the AUC values, so that we will get a better understanding of how our model is working on our data. So clearly we mentioned the graph. We plotted the graph below. So before that you have to understand alpha values are 0.0001. 0.001. For better visualization of the graph, these alpha values are plotted on log alpha values. Alpha value is converted to log alpha value and then plotted. For converting log alpha values to log values, we used this code and plotted the graph. The graph is like this. See here. The blue line is training AUC, means training data AUC values. Orange line is cross validation AUC values. If you plot this data, you observe it. -4 means -4 means 0.0001 means if you apply log value, what you will get? Log value is -4. That's why for better visualization of the graph, we converted our alpha value into log alpha value. At 0.0001 alpha value, see here, training accuracy is much, testing accuracy is less. Means this is what we discussed in overfitting class. If training accuracy is much and testing accuracy is low, we call it as overfitting. As alpha value increases, next alpha value, next alpha value, next alpha value, at alpha is equal to 1. Alpha is equal to 1 means log 1 is 0. That's why we have here alpha values, log alpha values. These are. So at alpha is equal to 1, it started reducing. At this one is taken as the best alpha value. So in the grid search CV, we are having a variable called best underscore params underscore. This will give the best alpha value. Okay, how to plot this data? We are using the package called matplotlib.pyplot. We are using this package. This is shortcut as a PLT. In that we are using a method called plt.plot. To display these lines, we use the method called plot, and to display this points, different alpha values, AUC values, we are using the variable method called scatter. Okay, this is simple graphs. You will understand on your own if you check the coding. You please download the code and play in and out with the code. And before going into the coding session, please make sure you know all the concepts which we discussed in our last 10 classes. Then only you will understand the code. Okay. So now in this block of code, we identified the best alpha value. So the best alpha value is 1. 1.0 means it's 1. Now what we have to do is, in our receiver operating characteristics curve class, what we have discussed is, on the best alpha we have to identify the best threshold value. At what threshold value we got that alpha value, best AUC. That is what you have to identify. So identifying the best threshold value and applying that threshold value for calculating our probability different classes. Above that threshold value we call it as 1 value. Below that threshold value we are taking it as a 0 value, 0 class. So based on that threshold value, we have to define the confusion matrix. Our next block of code is, this block of code is, we have to identify, we have to draw the AUC value, ROC curve for the best threshold value for this alpha value, and then we have to display the confusion matrix. These are all confusion matrix. Now check the coding for how to display confusion matrix, how to identify the best threshold value, how to use the threshold value for developing the confusion matrix. So what we are doing here is, so this block of code, now we are using the multinomial naive Bayes model on alpha is equal to 1. In our previous block of code, we identified the best alpha. So now we are using alpha is equal to 1. Best alpha is 1. We are using this alpha is equal to 1 and we are generating a model on our training data. This training data, in the multinomial naive Bayes, we are having a method called predict. Is a method. This will predict the output, means 1 or 0. Predict underscore proba is a method which will predict the probability values. As we discussed in ROC class, we need probability values to draw the ROC curve. That's why we are using predict underscore proba method for calculating the probability values. See here, nai.predict underscore proba will give the probability values on training data, and next we are calculating on testing data. We use this probability values in the method called ROC underscore curve. This method is we took this method from sklearn.metrics import ROC underscore curve comma AUC. These two classes these two methods we can use it for calculating ROC underscore curve points and AUC value. So if you send the output, means predicted probability values and original values, means actual values. If you send it to that, this method will calculate what it will calculate. It will identify the FPR value, TPR value and threshold value. Okay, for training data and testing data. So now with this we'll plot the, see here we are plotting based on these values, TPR, FPR values and threshold values. We are plotting the ROC curve plot. This is how it is shown below. Blue line shows the training AUC value and the orange line shows the testing value, testing curve. So the area under this curve is calculated using the function called AUC. See, this is AUC. So please, you have to understand the logic, how this code is. You have to understand it. That's what you have to do. Please work on this code. So next, coming to, we have to display the confusion matrix. For confusion matrix, what we need the threshold value. At what threshold value we are having the best AUC value. How we identify that threshold value is at what threshold value we are having TPR into 1 minus FPR value is high. That is the that threshold value we will consider. So the function which we have written here is best threshold is a function. It will identify, if you send the TPR, FPR and threshold values as an input to our function, it will identify at what TPR into F1 minus FPR value we are having the at what maximum TPR into FPR value. That threshold is considered here. Okay. Next, this predict using best threshold. If you are given the threshold value equal to threshold value and above threshold value is considered as a class 1, means positive feedbacks. Below it is considered as a class 0, means negative feedbacks. Okay, in order to identify, in order to predict the 1 values and 0 values, we are using this function. This function is based on the threshold value. Okay, threshold value has to be given as input to this function, then it will identify. So now we got predicted values for training data and testing data. How we predict that ones and zeros based on the best threshold, and this threshold value is given to this function. This will identify the predicted outputs. Based on these outputs, we have to construct the confusion matrix. So confusion matrix can be constructed using this confusion matrix class from sklearn.matrix import confusion matrix. So for displaying, we are using a class called heat map. It is in SNS, means this function is there in cburn as SNS. In that function we are having a method called heat map. We are using heat map for displaying all this confusion matrix. For getting all these colors and all those, we are using a heat map. Okay, this is how we display the confusion matrix for training data and for testing data. So this is how we display confusion matrix. Next, coming to our next block of code is, so we already discussed in imbalanced data set, we have to upsample the data. For upsampling the data, we use the method class called resample. It is there in sklearn.utils. In that we are having a class called resample. We use this to upsample the data. So now for upsampling the data, we have to divide our data into positive data and negative data. That is the code for value underscore counts. This method we already discussed in our first beginning coding classes. It will separate the data into positive class, and based on the 1 and 0 value, it will calculate the counts for how many positive feedbacks, how many negative feedbacks. That is what we have displayed here. Negative feedbacks, we are having 14,410 negative feedbacks, 57,512 positive feedbacks. Take the negative feedbacks class data. We have separated the data into df class 1 means positive class, df class 0 means negative class, means in this we are having 14,410. So give it as input to the class called resample. N underscore samples is equal to 57512, means number of positive samples, how many we have. So we have to upsample up to this limit. This is the maximum value, means each one is duplicated. It will take care of this method will take care of upsampling. This new data is placed in a variable called minority upsampled. Now our positive class and this upsampled class should be concatenated. We have to use this method called pd.concat is a method used to concatenate both the data sets, this upsampled data set and our positive class data set. Again, this new data set is placed in a variable called upsampled. So from now we will use this upsampled data and again do the same logic, divide it into training and testing data, next convert into bag of words, next apply our multinomial naive Bayes and grid search CV, same coding on this data and identifying the best alpha value, apply this alpha value and generate a model multinomial naive Bayes model next, and display the confusion matrix. Okay, this is what all the coding about naive Bayes. Hope you understand the concept. If you have any questions regarding the concepts, please post your questions in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates. Thank you.